According to the Mayo Clinic, nearly 16 million blood components are transfused each year in the US, and daily needs include 29,000 units of red blood cells, 5,000 units of platelets, and 6,500 units of plasma. Blood is synonymous to life. It has various different functions in the body, including regulating our body's temperature and pH, and transporting important nutrients to the places that need them. One reason why I'm interested in this topic is because of my minor in chemistry with a public health care focus, but also because I've been able to volunteer and help out at past blood drives that have happened at Purdue. There's currently a shortage of blood supply that poses as a public health concern with dire consequences. And one thing that we can all do is donate blood, which is a simple, safe, and effective way at saving lives. So through this presentation, I hope to persuade you all to sign up for the blood drive happening on August 28th in Croc at 9 a.m. by the Purdue American Red Cross. So to begin, let's first build an understanding of how severe the shortage is, and then let's go into explaining one of the factors that affect how bad the shortage is. So a public statement issued by the American Red Cross in 2024 stated that the last 20 years has seen the number of people donating blood through the Red Cross drop by about 40%. That is a frankly disturbing statistic. And to gain insight as to why this shortage is so severe, we can look into one factor: seasonal illnesses. A 2011 article published in Volume 51, Issue 3 of Transfusion, looked into how the avian influenza affects blood donors and their beliefs as to whether they should donate or not. So these factors included the blood donors actually being infected by the illness, so the influenza in this case. The second factor was the fear of susceptibility. So being afraid that any sort of minimal contact that might happen during the blood donation process with other humans might influence them getting the seasonal illness. And then the last factor was restrictions on movement when and if this sort of seasonal illness escalates into a pandemic-like situation. So all of this feeds into the problem, the shortage of blood supply. And here in the visual, we have one of the factors that affect it. Now that we've covered the shortage and a potential reason as to why this shortage is so bad, let's look at the dire consequences. So blood deserts are a geographical location that are defined to have people with limited to no access to important blood products and receiving timely blood transfusion. So a 2024 article called Defining Blood Deserts and Access to Blood Products for 660 Million People, a geospatial analysis of 8 states in northern India, and this visual that you can see is from that article, has the 8 states to the left, and then to the right, we have in black regions with high population densities, and then the red dots show places with the blood bank coverage. In image B, you have areas with a 30-minute drive distance. Image C shows a 60-minute drive distance, and image D shows a 90-minute drive distance. So why does this matter? What is this visual trying to communicate to us? Well, it's that life-threatening hemorrhages require immediate attention, and minutes could make a huge difference between life and death. And so populations living more than 30 minutes away from the nearest blood bank are at risk. But this sort of situation is not just something that rural places halfway across the world face. It is something that is dire and poses as public health concern in the US, right here, right now. A 2024 consumer update by the US Food and Drug Administration said that every 2 seconds, someone in the US needs blood transfusion. So shortage will affect trauma patients, it'll affect premature babies, and people suffering from cancer needing to have, and then people needing to have surgeries and more. And so this shortage is a serious problem. Covered the blood shortage and the dire consequences, let's outline the blood donation process. So the blood donation process involves 5 steps: recruitment, screening, physical examination, collection, and post-donation steps, as outlined in a 2007 blood donation collection article published in the National Library of Medicine. So the recruitment stage is what I'm currently doing right now by talking to you and hoping to persuade each and every one of you to sign up to donate blood. And then in terms of the translation to the American Red Cross at Purdue and their guidelines, the first step is registering with a valid ID and verifying information, then getting medical screening. So this involves a quick temperature, pulse, blood pressure, and hemoglobin level check to make sure that this whole process is safe for you. And then having a private confidential interview regarding your travel history, your medical history, to ensure that the blood is safe for the recipient. And then there is the actual donation step in which the sterile needle is inserted with the donor comfortably laying down. So I'm sure if any of you walked by Croc when these blood drives have happened, you've been able to see those beds being set up. And the whole process takes about 10-15 minutes. And the post-donation step will be offered a snack drink to replenish your energy and also will be kept under observation for around 15 minutes. In a summary, this slide is meant to show how the blood donation process is simple and it's safe. So, lastly, I want to cover how the availability of blood may be the deciding factor between life and death. In fact, my own mother, due to hormonal treatments, needed a life-saving blood transfusion in her undergrad at college. And that is the same age as many of you in the audience. And so blood donation matters. The blood shortage is a dire problem that we need to address. And one step towards addressing it is taking action by donating blood. In conclusion, we talked about how there is a severe blood shortage problem and one of the factors that influence it, such as seasonal illnesses. We also talked about what this means for the public health and how it poses as a concern. Then we went into how blood donation is a simple, safe, and effective process at treating and saving lives. So with that, I urge each and every one of you to donate whole blood at the American Red Cross blood drive happening in the Croc lobby on August 28th at 9 a.m.